Namaste. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Global Festival of Oneness organized by Indica Moksha. My name is Anuradha and I'm the host for this session. Let us start with a prayer. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We're very pleased to start today's session with a talk on Shankara Bhagavadpada's Manisha Panchakam by Swamini Sadvidyananda. This is a video recording. Before we get on to the recording, I'd like to introduce the speaker. Swamini Sadvidyananda Saraswati is a disciple of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati, and she has been teaching Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads in Gujarat for the last 25 years. Under the banner of her trust, Arsha Vidya Tirtha Navsari, she has translated and published more than 37 books of her guru, Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati. And from 1998 to 2003, she also translated Swamiji's Bhagavad Gita home study through several volumes in Gujarati. She has attended conferences and she has presented several papers. We're very pleased to have this session. This is a continuous session over a few weekends. Let's go on to the session.
Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Vashye Makshabhiryajatraha Sirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhi Vishema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddhashravaha Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Swastina Starksho Arishtanemihi Swastino Bruhaspatir Dadhato Om Shanti 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahavidyan Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavadpadam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaran Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishade Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Manisha Panchakam. There are so many stotras are there, so many prakarana granthas are there, written by or given to name Shankaracharya, and all these stotras are very important to understand the total vision of Vedanta. Among them, this Manisha Panchakam is one of the very fine stotra because it is a multifaceted stotra. As I will unfold it, you will understand that it has covered the entire lifestyle of human being. It talks about how we have to transact in this world, what kind of the way of our vision, our view of this world, how we transact in the, how we look at other people, how we should deal with the situation. Of course, this main purpose of this stotra is to unfold the true nature of the self. But at the same time, who is a student? Who is a guru? What is the attitude of the student? What is the attitude of the guru? All these aspects are being covered in this Manisha Panchakam. And therefore, it is very important. And there are a lot of misconceptions are going on regarding Manisha Panchakam also, which we will deal as it comes. And therefore, Manisha Panchakam is, there are two commentaries are there on Manisha Panchakam. So, based on this commentary, we will learn this Manisha Panchakam. And basically, Kadachit Shankaracharya Kashi Pratim Puri Yayo. So, there is a story about Shankaracharya's life, that once he was going to Kashi. And person who goes to Kashi, first the person takes dip in the Ganges. And now certain things are changed in Kashi, in Banaras or Varanasi. There are three names are there for this city. Kashi is original name. Kashi means which shines with the knowledge of the Veda. But there is another Varanasi. Why it is called Varanasi? Because it is between the Varini and Asi Nadi. There are two rivers are there. Between two rivers, this city is there. It's called Varanasi. And Banaras. Banaras is a mixed Hindi-Urdu word is there. And Banaras means everything is being created here, like saris and the toys, mala, rudraksha. So, बना बनाया यहाँ से आपको मिलता है और इसलिए कहते हैं बनारस. और रस माने की there is lot of enchantments are there and therefore it's called Banaras. Now, originally it is called Kashi. And it is very well known that the route in the Kashi, roads are very shallow. Understand? So, in this Kashi, once Shankaracharya went to Kashi. And as routine, Shankaracharya took the dip in the Ganga. After having the dip in Ganga, Snanam, Shankaracharya was going to have a Darshana for the Kashi-Vishwanatha. And as he was going, because all the streets of this Kashi are very narrow. Now certain changes are there which we are seeing now. Now somebody goes, the person can see that it has changed a lot. But those days, all the streets were very narrow. And Shankaracharya ji with his students was going to have a Darshana of Kashi-Vishwanatha. And while going there, it is very, very common thing. Even in our day-to-day life also we observe certain things. What to touch, what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, what kind of clothes we should wear. So there are day-to-day life in our transactions. We have certain routines are there, certain laws are there. And so, similarly, in the morning when Shankaracharya has taken the dip in Ganga, and as he was going through the narrow streets of Kashi, suddenly he saw there was a Chandala. I'm not going to translate this word, understand. So this Chandala, he was cleaning the street and he's having his dog with him. So this when Chandala was cleaning the street and as Shankaracharya was going, Shankaracharya was having his own mind was engaged in the thinking of Kashi-Vishwanatha. And he was engaged in his own thinking. And as he was going, suddenly he saw that there is this Chandala, street sweeper. Suddenly he saw in front of him. because he has taken bath and also having the sanskara of Brahmana. So, from very naturally from Shankaracharya's mouth, this word comes up, gacha, gacha, understand? So now when Shankaracharya says gacha, gacha, it doesn't mean that Shankaracharya was putting this person down, understand? He doesn't have that intention of that, oh, what we should touch, what we should. That's why I said, the touchability, that what we are now, a lot of people have this problem with that, In Hindu Dharma, that there is an untouchable, there is a untouchability. Now, just atyavesha dharam drashtva gacha gacha iti cha abravita. Very naturally Shankaracharya says, move away, move away. Gacha gacha means you move away. Just stand aside. Now, the person being untouchable, that doesn't mean, I always tell people, we should live our life with minimum touch. It is not question of touchable, untouchable, understand this. We should live our life with minimum touch. See, that's why we don't have handshaking, we have namaskara. Because there is a Lord in everybody's heart. And that's why we do the namaskara. In Shastra, if you see, pati, patni, putra, santan, putra, putri, mata, pita, they can touch each other. Outsider we should not touch. Because the touch also has an effect on our mind. Somebody's look can affect our mind. Just imagine what touch can do. Sometimes when we are in some function, some person will look at us with very indifferent look, and then he move away. Then we understand he's not interested in talking to us, or he's avoiding us, or he's insulting us. So if the look can have an effect on our mind, our emotions, it can create some kind of emotions in our mind. Same way, this touch also has this effect. And therefore, we all know the story of Ramayana also. That in the story of Ramayana, Kaikeyi was the happiest person. She was the happiest person that Rama is going to become the king. Until mantra touches. As soon as mantra touched Kaikeyi, her mind changed. And therefore, it is very common one can say conduct in our Hindu Dharma that we live the life with minimum touch. Not only that, even in day-to-day life, after bath, before going to puja, we don't touch anybody. Even wife or son, understand? Mother, parents. Because the sanctity we have to maintain. So Shankaracharya also being a Brahmana and lived the life of Brahmana, he had this sanskara. And out of this sanskara, understand? He just said, gacha, gacha. No, Shankaracharya didn't know. He just saw that this person is sweeping the street. And because he is sweeping the street, he's dirty. And that's why he didn't want to touch it. And therefore he said, move away. Gacha means move away. Because I have taken Ganga bath and now I'm going to have a Darshana of Kashi-Vishwanatha. So you just move away. A lot of people are taking it that, oh, Shankaracharya also is believing in all these things. Don't get into it. And so, when Shankaracharya was going and when he said, gacha, gacha, Shankaraha sopi chandalastam punaha praha Shankaram. But in reality, that Chandal, he was not really Chandal. Shankara saha api. He was also Lord Shiva. And that self, Lord Shiva in the form of the Chandala, asked Shankaracharya, Punaha praha Shankaram. So this Chandal is Shankar in the form of Chandal asked Shankaracharya. Annamayad Annamayam Athava Chaitanyam Chaitanyat. Look at the beautiful. Duri kartum dvijavaram vanchasi kim bruhi gaccha gaccha iti. So now this Shankar, Bhagavan Shankar in the form of Chandala asked the question to Adi Shankaracharya. Annamayad Annamayam Duri Kartumichasi. Very nice. Are you telling me move away? Do you want me to move away my Annamaya from your Annamaya? Annamayad Annamayam Duri Kartumichasi. Or Chaitanyam Chaitanyat Dvijavara Duri Kartum Vanchasi. So this body, this gross body is made up of gross elements. So this Chandal says, my body also is made up of the gross elements. Your body also is made up of same gross elements. From the standpoint of this gross element, this is Annamaya. Adyate iti bhutani tasmad annam taduchyate adhikya. So this Anna means that which we eat. So the body which is made up of Annam, and that is Annamaya kosha. Understand? Tat Annamayaha, tad vikaraha, sthula deha, Annamayaha iti uchyate. The body which is made up of this food. Because it is the modification of the food, so both bodies are same Annamaya. Tasmat Annamayat Chandalastu. Whether this body is of Chandala or it is of Brahmana, it is both is Annamaya. Therefore, he asked Dvijavara. Now Shankaracharya ji is being addressed as Dvijavara. What is a Dvijavara? Janmana jayate Shudraha, Karmana jayate Dvijaha. By birth, everybody is Shudra. Shudra means those who doesn't do any work. Tamasika. If you see the child, if you see the newborn, 20 hours that newborn is sleeping. So there is a more of a tamasika, and therefore it's called Shudra. Tamah Pradhana Shudra. Karmana, Upanayat, both are there. Because of Upanayana Diksha, it is a second birth of the person. It's called Dvijaha. Dvija means second time he is being born. Dvijanam, Dvijanmanam, Karminam, Madhye, Varaha. Shankaracharya is Shrestha. Among this Dvija, he is Shrestha. So, Chandal addresses Shankaracharya Dvijavara. Janmana jayate Shudraha, Karmana jayate Dvijaha, Vedadhyayi bhaved Vipraha. Person who studies the Veda is called Vipraha. Brahmagnanat Brahmanaha, Brahma janati iti Brahmanaha. Because of the Brahmagnanam, he is called Brahmana. Understand? Our understanding Brahmana is not a certain jati caste. This whole caste system is imbibed in our mind by this British people. Brahmana means who has studied Veda and who has understood Veda. And therefore, we have this understanding. Janmana jayate Shudraha, Karmana Dvijaha, Veda Adhyayana, Veda Adhyayi, Bhaved Vipraha, Brahma Janati Brahmanaha. iti smaranad. अब देखिए, now गच्छ गच्छ इति वचसा वांछसि अभिलषसि मनःपूर्वकत्वाद् व्याग व्यापारस्य. So this vag vyapara means through the speech this Shankaracharya has uttered this word gaccha gaccha. Now this word has been came out of his mouth. Yadhi manasa dhyayati yadvacha vadati. So what is the intention? Manasa means what was the intention of Shankaracharya for telling this Chandala gaccha gaccha? And that's why this intention is being asked by this Chandala. Do you want me to move this Annamaya, from this Annamaya, move away, understand? Or Chaitanya Chaitanyam. Or you want to remove this Chaitanya from this Chaitanya. So, when this question is being asked, what happened? Now, Shankaracharya himself was thinking in his mind, understand? That though I thought that this person is Chandala, Shudra, but the way he is asking the question, understand? That's why I say, how you talk, how you express yourself also is important. So here, Shankaracharya is thinking in his mind. Because the way the question is being asked by this Chandala, the confidence in his. And so, he asked. Now, when he asked, he himself is explaining to him. Understand? That you want to move away this Annamaya or Chaitanya? So when this kind of the akshepa is being made, now what is the intention of this akshepa? There is only one Chaitanya. There is no two Chaitanya, understand? Chaitanyam Kutastharupam. I always tell people, there is only one Chaitanya, that is you. There is no second consciousness. And that Chaitanya is you. It is what? Shastra says it is a Swatasiddha Swaprakasha Chaitanya. Swatasiddha means what? You don't need to prove that you are Chaitanya. You don't need to employ any pramana, any means of knowledge to say you are Chaitanya. Shankaracharya, therefore in Gita says, Pramatari Siddhe Sati Pramana Anveshanam Kuryat. You are that consciousness because of which all the pramanas are being employed. And therefore, when this asking Chaitanya, Chaitanya. But Chaitanya, there are not two Chaitanyas. It is only one non-dual Chaitanya. And therefore, one non-dual consciousness is there, ek advitiya Chaitanya matra. And therefore, Shankaracharya also started thinking in his mind that what he is telling. Because, do I really meant that way? And therefore, so this Chandala himself is explaining this his akshepa. Kim Gangambuni bimbite, Kim Gangambuni bimbite, Ambaramanao Chandala Vatapayaha. We'll chant the verse first. Kim Gangambuni bimbite, Ambaramanao Chandala Vatapayaha. Kim Gangambuni bimbite, Ambaramanao Chandala Vatapayaha. पूरे वान्तरमस्ति कांचन घटे मृत कंभोयोर अवाम्बरे पूरे वान्तरमस्ति कांचन घटे मृत कुंभयोरावम्बरे Pratyak vastune nirastaranga sahajananda bodha buddhau. Pratyak vastune nirastaranga sahajanandavabodham buddhau. Viproyam swapachoyam iti api mahan koyam vibheda brahmaha. Viproyam swapachoyam ityapi mahan koyam vibheda brahmaha. Very beautiful, look at this. Kim Gangambuni Pratbimbite Bimbite Ambaramanau. This is the beauty of Sanskrit. Ambara means sky. Mani means jewel. What is the jewel of sky? Surya. Now, Gangambuni Bimbite Ambaramanau. So, this Kashi city is at the bank of Ganga. Kashyadi Puninagar Prapte Devata Manoharine Vishnu Padodbhava Bhagirathi Janvi iti Hi Aparyaya Namni Vilasati Ganga. Ganga is the most sacred river on the earth. And Devata Manoharine, even Devata loves this Ganga. Devata also, their mind is Manoharine. So, their mind also enchanted by this Ganga. And it is not ordinary. Vishnu Padodbhava. It is born of Vishnu Bhagwan's charana, feet of Lord Vishnu. There is a story in Krishna Avatar. We all know that Ganga, that Govardhan Giri. So when Indra realized this is the Lord of Brahmanda, universe, he surrendered himself to Lord Krishna. And then he did the Pada Prakshalana of Lord, and that water is called Ganga. Understand? Therefore, I always tell people, those who go to Rishikesh or Haridwar, when we go for Ganga Snanam, we should not put our leg directly, our feet directly in Ganges. Understand? That water is a sacred, a Charanamruta. Vishnu Padodbhava means it is what? It is a Charanamruta. And we don't put our feet in Charanamruta. Understand? Even some people, when you give Charanamruta, they will put their, any cloth. Upavastra, they will put like that. Why? Because it should not fall on the earth. Understand? And therefore, this Ganga is the most sacred, Charanamruta. Not only that, it is known as Bhagirathi because of the austerity of Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha was not only, other also, all his ancestors did so many austerities, so much tapasya were done. And then finally, this Bhagirath got this Ganga on earth. And therefore, it is called Bhagirathi, Janvi iti, Hi Aparaparyaya Namni, Vilasati Ganga. So this Ganga is the most sacred river. Not only that, Tasyaha Sarva Papa Kshayakaram Paramparaya Moksha Prapakam Cha. The water of Ganga is what? It has a capacity to destroy all your sins, all papa. Moksha Prapakam Cha. It is the one which helps us to get the moksha. Cha Yad Ambujalam Ganga Ambuni. So, see, now also you see this Ganga Jal. You keep this Ganga Jal for years. Now, Kumbh Mela was there. Half of the half of the people have taken dip in this Sangam. And everybody has carried this Ganga Jal, this Sangam Jal with them. And so, Telling Kim Ganga Ambuni Bimbite. Now, Ambaramana Ambare Nabasi Manihi Dipyate Atishayana Virajamanatvat Ambaramanihi Suryaha. The one which is enlightened, all this, everything is been enlightened by this Surya. The Akash, our Surya Mandala, all the energy, all the light we get from Surya. And therefore, for us, Surya is Ambaramani, jewel of the sky. This Surya, Tasmin Bimbite Pratibimbite Sati. Now this Surya is being reflected in the water of Ganges. Ganga Ambuni Bimbite Ambaram. Tam Vati Vithi Tasya Chandala. The gutter, the dirt, Tasyam. In that water. Vati Payamaniti means this gutter or the gutter water of this Chandala home, in that also the Surya is going to be reflected. Understand? Now what is that water? Ganga is the most sacred water. What is this water? Charma Kledanadina Durgandham Durmalinam Jalam. That water is not a clean water. Malinam. There is a heat, and therefore it's a very unholy water. And therefore, both opposite, understand. One is the most sacred, another is not sacred. So, here it says that the sun is reflected in Ganges and reflected in the gutter water of this Chandala. What happens? Pure Vantaramasti Kanchana Ghatimruta. So, first example is about the Pratibimba of Surya. Understand? What happens? Though it is being reflected, Bimbite Satiti Na Anusajjate, it is not going to being affected by anything. Whether it is reflected in the Ganges water or it is reflected in the gutter water, it is not affected. Sun is not going to get affected by this. It is a asangaha. So, there is a pot made up of the gold. And there is a pot, Suvarnena Nirmita Ghati Kumbha, the pot which is made up of the gold. Then, Mrut Kumbha, Mruda Prasiddhaya Gandhadi, Gunavatya Pradarshaya Avachinna Pakshepi Tad Darshayati. Avachinna Paksha, Avachinna Vada is what we call is Avachinna Vada. He is talking about that the sky, the Akasha. Ghatakasha when we say, so one where the Akasha, Ambaram is Akasha. So the Akasha which is limited by the golden pot or Akasha which is limited by the clay pot. Tabhyam avachinnam achaditam ambaram. Atra ubhaya pakshayoho pratibimbayoho avachinnayoho va. Whether you take it as a reflection, pratibimba, or you take it as which is being limited by the pot. Bimbena avachinnena Pratibimbabyam avachinnabhyam bimbasya anavachinnasya pratibimbayoho avachinnayoho va parasparam nakadachit gandasya avakasha. Whether it is being reflected or whether it is being limited. Understand both. By where it is being reflected or Akash is not going to get affected whether it is limited. Pratyak means that which is, that is your nature. Sahaj means is a nature. Ananda. Not only that, that consciousness is what? Anandaha. It is a self of everyone. It is a without ripple, means there is no changes. Nirvikari. It is a nature. Sahaja. Ananda. It is by nature, it is Ananda. I always tell people, don't translate word Ananda. Some people translate it as bliss. Bliss is the word, is the Christianity word, which means the heavenly happiness. Here Ananda is not bliss, understand. Even for our understanding, maximum we can say happiness. Maximum what we can say is Ananda means happiness. Or just use the word Ananda only. Understand? Ananda avabodha ambudhau. Ananda avabodha. Avabodha means consciousness. Karana is there. Understand? So, the consciousness which is being, or there is Sukshma Sharira, subtle body. So from the standpoint of the subtle body, we say there is a Pratibimba Vada. The consciousness is being reflected in the mind being Sattvika, pure. Mind is being made up of the Sattvika Panchamahabhuta, and therefore by nature it is a pure and clean, and therefore the consciousness is being reflected in the mind. So that's called Pratibimbavada. Or from the standpoint of this gross body, when we say, this consciousness is being limited by this Sthula Sharira. Now, here they say that whether this consciousness is limited by Brahmana body or the Chandala body, or the Brahmana's mind is being, well, Vipra. That's why he said Vipra means what? Vedadhyayi Vipraha. So his mind, where there is a knowledge of Veda is there, very sattvic mind is there, because there is a study of Veda is there, Sanskaras are there. And Chandala is what? Shudra. Tamapradhan is there. And therefore, his mind also is a tamasika. So, the consciousness which is being reflected in the sattvic mind and sattvic sukshma sharira, or consciousness is reflected in this tamasic mind. Understand? And bhava visheshayoho. One which is the mind, which is a sanskar. Mind antakarana. This viveda brahmaha. This is the brahmaha, understand? The superimposition is there. I am Brahmana, you are Chanda. All this sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna, everything is what? Viveda brahmaha. Pratyek vastu mein vibheda brahma. All this is being superimposed. Vipra, whether you call it the Shwapachaha, Mahan Koyam Vibheda Brahma. What is the difference? Once I say it is Mithya, then there is no upper class and lower class. Understand? And therefore, Koyam Vibheda Brahma. From the standpoint of Brahma, from the standpoint of superimposition, from the standpoint of Mithyatva, what is a Bheda? What is the difference? Your body also is Annamaya, your body also is elemental. My body also is elemental. Your body and mind also are superimposed on the consciousness. My body, mind, senses also are superimposed on consciousness. Understand? And therefore, but consciousness is what? Nistaranga. There is no body, there is no mind. Understand? And therefore, in this Ambudhihi. Ambudhi means Sagar, ocean. This is the ocean of consciousness. There is a one non-dual ocean of consciousness is there. In that, where is this Vibheda? Understand? See, it is exactly like, suppose I am seeing in the dream world, diamond is there. And I also see the small flower is there. Small ordinary flower. Picking up, what is the value of seeing? This flower is nothing. But when you wake up, what is the value of diamond? Same way, this body what we call, it is what? Mithya, understand? Vibhramaha. Brahmaha means it is superimposed. Pratyak vastuni aham aham iti anubhavemane sati viproyam dvijatihi adhyanashilah swapachayam chandalah pashughatakaha iti. Swapacha means that person who is eating the meat of this dog, understand? Swa means shunaha. Shunaha means dog, understand? Means he is the one who is killing these animals and eating that. Itya aparichinna shunyayam vibheda brahmaha advaita bhrantihi kaha kutaha. Understand? One who has studied Veda, one who is studying Veda, one who is teaching Veda, he is a Brahmana, Vipraha. Other person who is a Pashughataka, who is killing animals and eating that. So from the standpoint of the Upadhi, one is a most exalted Upadhi. Other is a very inferior Upadhi. But it is only difference is what? From the standpoint of Upadhi, there is a difference. Pratyag ekarasasya vastunaha nishprapancha ukte. From the standpoint of the consciousness, there is no difference. Understand? Evam kevala parmarthika drashtim avalambya akshipta. Now, there is akshepa is there. By Shankaracharya. By this Shankara, Lord Shiva in the form of Chandala. What do you want me to remove? Understand? Koyam vibheda brahmaha. The question is being asked to Shankaracharya. And when he heard this, me to cross this ocean of bhavitumarhati iti nishchitya. So Shankaracharya, he understood clearly that the Chandala who is in front of me is not an ordinary person. He is a Purna Purusha who is a teacher. He is Lord. Lord Kashi-Vishwanath, Vishweshwara is right in front of me as a Upadeshta. He is my Acharya. Iti nishchitya. Yathoktam eva tata etadrusha drashtim astu bhavat drisheshu na asmakam chandalattvadi pratitihi iti abhipretya. So Shankaracharya understood that the person who is in front of me, he cannot be other than Lord Shiva, who is in the form of teacher, Upadeshta, Acharya. He is my Acharya who is teaching me. So Shankaracharya developed that Acharya Bhava in Chandala. And therefore, Bhavadrisheshu na asmakam chandalattvadi pratitihi ati abhipretya. Now, Swa Anubhavam means his own, here Anubhavam is not experience. His own knowledge about the self with the help of form of the Chandala, or whether the person is in the form of the Dvija. But if he is teaching me this reality, Guru iti tesha Manisha mama, this is my firm understanding. Manisha means firm understanding. This is my firm understanding. The person, whether he is in the form of Chandala or he is in the form of the Dvija, he is my Guru. Understand? So that's why Guru is not body. I always tell people, Guru is not from the standpoint of the body, from the standpoint of the age, from the standpoint of the ashrama. Understand? What we have to see is the buddhi of Guru. Guru is a buddhi, understand? And what kind of the buddhi it is? It is a buddhi where there is no ignorance. Guru is a buddhi where there is no ignorance. The ignorance is being destroyed by the upadesha of his or her Guru. Understand? There is no Swayambhu Guru. It is all parampara. And therefore, what we have to look into is the buddhi of Guru. And that buddhi is required for us to understand the self-knowledge. And therefore, Shankaracharya says that he is a Guru who has understood the true nature of the self. And what is the true nature? Understand. Tatra Tavata Chaturshu Vedeshu Asmi Tattvamasi Ahatma Brahma Ityevam Rupani Krame. Kakar says Evam Rupa Mahavakya and explaining this verse. So Anukramatma, in this krama, in this order, each Mahavakya is being explained in each verse. And therefore, we have these 5 verses are there. In the first 4 verses, in next class, we will see this. That how this Pragnanam Brahma of the Rigveda is being explained in this first verse of Manisha Panchakam. It's very beautiful, understand. So, Shankaracharya himself is explaining this and taking this decision. Manisha, Mama Manisha means this is my firm decision, my resolution, that the person who talks about this is not less than my Guru. And therefore, in next class, we'll see the first verse of Manisha Panchakam. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Swamini ji, for that wonderful session. We are looking forward for more of these over the next few weekends. Viewers, we have several sessions in the evening today at 7 p.m. India time. We have a talk by Swamini Brahma Prajnananda on the greatness of Adi Shankaracharya's Prakarana Granthas. So that is the session we have at 7 p.m. India time. You can make the flyer. Greatness of Adi Shankaracharya's Prakarana Granthas by Swamini Brahma Prajnananda. See you all then. Namaste.